A WWE star has a ridiculous new name. A popular AEW star has announced their exit from the company. And Tammy Sunny Sytch has been charged with manslaughter. We'll run through all the details in a bit. So, Fraser, are you ready to get ridiculous?
Oh, I'm hyped. I've gone in blind with this one. I didn't want to know what the name was, but Sam, please hit me with it.
So, we've had a pretty similar theme running through SmackDown's opening dark segments over the past few weeks. We've had LA Knight, formerly of NXT.
NXT's The Rock.
Oh, yeah, NXT's The Rock, coming up to SmackDown for the opening dark segments and introducing his new idea, which is Night Model Management, which is his new stable. He's introduced Mansoor as a part of it. He's introduced Mace as part of it. And so this all continued on this week, in which Ricochet faced Mace with LA Knight at ringside, I believe, in this opening dark segment. However, this wasn't just your regular budget brand Mace. This was a delectable,
charismatic Mace.
Yeah, charismatic,
incredibly cool. And
I'm trying to think to delectable,
organic,
sensual.
Yeah,
Mace,
wow, sensual.
The face. Is what Mace was built. Mace the face. So it sounds ridiculous. So yes, he was billed as Mace the face.
I mean, good rhyming, WWE. Mace the face.
Mace the face. But it sounds kind of ridiculous. It does. There's just no way around it. Hi, I'm Mace the face. But
Sam the Man.
It's like, hi, I'm Sam the Man. I think that, it does kind of work. And, people are going to roll their eyes real hard now. Yeah. But it does kind of work. It ties into the whole model thing. If it's Night Model Management face. And then, if it's LA Knight, I don't know if these guys are going to be faces. And so you have the double meaning of face.
Now you've explained it like that. That kind of works.
Now that I've broken it down.
Once you really break it down, it's really interesting that they've actually got that much depth to the name, though.
This is it. I get my radio waves beamed straight from Stamford, Connecticut into my brain.
Of course.
So I've got the inside track on all of this. This was all definitely, ultimately, it doesn't really matter what's happening here.
It's still Mace.
Because it's still Mace, and it's a dark segment. And the dark segments are typically where things get tried out for the first time. It could roll on next week. It could just be back to Mace. We don't know.
Face the Mace.
Yeah, face the Mace. It could be an entirely different name. It could be an entirely different stable.
If it gets him away from the Retribution baggage,
yes,
that's good for me. I think he is actually quite an entertaining guy when he's been given stuff to do.
Yeah.
With LA Knight, it will work as his manager. Mace the face. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think, provided that, as you said, it's a good way to get him away from the wreckage of Retribution, because it just all sort of ultimately ran out of steam, and the company didn't seem to know what they wanted to do with it, and it just got swept under the rug again, like so many other things. That I think it's so long as we get something good out of it for him. And I think LA Knight's a perfect guy for this.
I wonder when we'll see them actually debut on SmackDown, because obviously they have only been on the dark segments.
Yeah.
I'd like to see if anything changes and if they get how they get used on SmackDown, because as much as I wasn't a big fan of LA Knight in NXT, I think he could be really good in this spot. And Mace, as we've said, is a good choice for this.
Yeah.
Mansoor, I wonder if he'll get a new name.
I kind of hope so.
To keep in line with this.
I kind of hope so. What could we do for Mansoor?
Mansoor.
What are models? Models get manicures. It could be manicure. We could do all sorts.
Manicure.
I think that Knight is, provided this is, and I'm hoping it's going to be a heel stable. I think Knight is the perfect choice here for this, and hopefully it'll all just fall into place. But moving to the other side of the fence, we're going over to AEW now, where a popular AEW star has announced their shock exit from the company. Speculation had been mounting all week after Stu Grayson of the Dark Order was removed from AEW's active roster page, and reports started dropping over the course of the week again that his contract had expired. Both sides were trying to talk, both sides were trying to reach a deal, but Grayson himself has taken to Twitter to clarify the whole situation, and he announced, update, on April 30th, my contract with AEW expired. Best of luck to everyone working for AEW, our great production and medical team, and of course every man and woman who steps into the ring, and to my Dark Order family. I hope the world will soon see what you are truly capable of. And this is weird because Grayson is an AEW original.
He's one of the OG guys, and if he signed his contract and his contract's expired and they've not reached a new deal, it's interesting that the rest of the Dark Order that signed at the same time has likely had theirs renewed. And we had reports early in the week that this could be a disagreement on money or disagreement on how he was going to be used. We're not quite sure on that one. I mean, he's obviously not given any insight there, but it's a shame to see him go, like officially confirming that he is leaving the company.
Yeah. It's just, feels a bit odd. But I'm starting to think now, maybe the way that the AEW contracts seem to be handled is, they just sort of roll out and they roll out and they roll out. But it's almost like the territories where they bring somebody in for like 2 or 3 months and then, you move on, you go round a bit and then you come back for another little bit of time. And I that's where I kind of feel like maybe we're going back to.
It seems like there is two ways in the industry right now. There is WWE, which is so segmented and so on its own little island, and then you have, as you said, the sort of territory aspect of AEW. You've got Ring of Honor, you've got breathing space. You've got New Japan Strong, you've got New Japan in Japan. So there is little things that these people can do. It's less of a worry of like, where's he going to go? And it's more like, where's he going to go? Sort of thing. And he's an exceptional talent, and it's a shame that he's not been used much in the past few months. So maybe he's just gone, I can get work elsewhere and be used a bit more regularly. Maybe we'll see him in Ring of Honor. Obviously, it's a different company to AEW. We could see him there.
I think he'd be a great fit with Impact as well.
Yeah, Impact seems to be sort of, I think Tom mentioned it recently, it's sort of like the meeting ground of every
the landing spot.
Like you go through there and you take your turn in Impact. And
people often, we all remember TNA, and it's been going on for so long, but you often forget the legacy of that company, and a lot of people see it as an attractive place to go to and want to actively work more and more with it.
A lot of great talents in there right now.
It's been really fun watching Impact build themselves back up over this amount of time.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
It's a long time they've been going. So I'm excited to see what Stu Grayson's next move is. Maybe Impact. We will see.
I'm going to try and get through this next one quick, but it concerns Fox and exclusivity over WWE stars. Now, a lot of rumors have been mounting recently about maybe WWE's looking to fold the rosters back in. Roman is the uwu. They were supposed to be doing the tag title unification, except they never were apparently now. And it was all starting to be like, ooh, and people were appearing on both sides of, SmackDown and Raw more frequently than they had done in recent memory. But it apparently doesn't look like this is going to be the case for the long term. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Live, Dave Meltzer had stated that Fox and USA Network, but most notably Fox, want exclusivity for some of their superstars. He said, both networks kind of want unique rosters. You can do some of that back and forth, but Fox in particular really wants kind of exclusivity on their guys. This followed a recent report from The Observer that indicated Fox were originally interested in Raw over SmackDown before they went to SmackDown. But I don't think this is much of a surprise, and I think a lot of people are going to be like, it's just conjecture and Meltzer and everything. The reason I've included it is because if this is a bit more of a revelation on this, I'm sure this came out around the time of the deal originally being struck with Fox, that they wanted Roman Reigns and they wanted these people and they wanted them only for SmackDown, and it makes sense. They're networks, they're not the same parent company sat there going, it doesn't matter. They want their IP, they want their ratings, they want their draw. So it makes absolute sense. But I think maybe it's just going to be every Mania season we see everybody sort of mush together, and then
and Survivor Series, of course, you've got to have the two brands coming together.
Coexist?
That sort of thing. But that makes sense, exactly as you were saying.
But moving on to some rather sad news now. Mike Johnson of PW Insider broke the news last night that Tammy Sunny Sytch was arrested in Ormond Beach, Florida, in relation to the death of 75-year-old Julian L. Lasetta, who was killed in a multi-car traffic incident on March 25th. It was then reported later, again by Mike Johnson of PW Insider, that Sytch was sent to Volusia County Branch Jail and was being charged with 9 offenses. Those offenses are DUI, causing the death of a person, also commonly known as DUI manslaughter, driving with a suspended or revoked license, causing death or serious injury. She reportedly has no valid driving license, and 7 counts of DUI causing damage to a person or property. Now, DUI manslaughter is, of course, the most serious of these charges. It's considered a felony in Florida, and if convicted, she could face up to 30 years in prison and fines of up to $10,000, as well as a minimum of 4 years on the sentence there. Her total accrued bond is currently set at $227,500. And then her mugshot was also released to the public, in which she can be seen smiling in spite of the fact that her actions have caused
it's a very
situation.
Horrible photo just to look at in terms of the fact that she's smiling, and it's very sick. And it's not a nice story at all.
Not at all. I think, there's nothing more that really needs to be said about it. But yeah, that's the update on the Sunny situation. But just to end things off on a bit of a brighter note, and this is going to sound quite strange, what's about to come out of my mouth next. Just to end things on a brighter note, a fan jumped the barricade on SmackDown.
Fan did jump the barricade
what went on,
at
Fraser?
SmackDown. So SmackDown, after SmackDown went off the air, there was a dark match featuring Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. And Cody goes round ringside posing for photos.
Usual stuff.
He was getting nice selfies with fans and stuff. And then a fan leaped over the barricade, ran at Cody Rhodes. Security, you could see them looking. It was everything was okay. It was a wee child, and it was really cute. This little kid
comes over the barricade like Spider-Man, woo woo.
He has some leap on him.
Yeah,
he
like
really
Ray making his entrance.
Yeah, like he pops over, runs over to Cody. You could see in the background of the video. There's a video on social media where you could see the security going. We need to intervene, and Cody plays it up like an absolute professional.
Handles it like a pro.
He sort of leans over and is like,
hey buddy, where did you come from? But he triple takes first. He's like, what?
You can see the mum or the being like, come here. So Cody turns around, sees the kid, very in disbelief that this child has appeared. And I imagine Cody will have taken a photo with the child afterwards, but he returns to taking them with.
Well, he did indeed, because Cody took to Twitter after Brandon Teresi posted a video of the moment to Twitter. Cody found it, replied with, "This popped me. He ended up getting the pic. Good kiddo."
It's a big change in the last time a fan jumped the barricade and Seth beat them up.
Yes. Seth was involved in that dark main event against Cody.
While we are saying this was very cute, that doesn't mean anyone should do it.
Yeah,
do not jump the barricade.
You should never, ever, like, that goes without saying. You should never, ever jump the barricade. That's a performance area, and it's not a place for fans to be. And, bad things happen to people who jump the barricade. It's not something that you ever want to be known for. You're banned for life from WWE events.
I hope this kid isn't.
I think most cases you
most
are.
Most cases you're banned from the venue.
I imagine this is a slightly different set of circumstances here.
There might be a bit more lenient.
But it's not something you ever want to be infamous for within the wrestling community, because everybody just thinks you're a dick.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not this kid, though. This kid was really cute. But no, nobody else, please.
Please don't. Please.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for your second dose of lovely bumper weekend wrestling news. You got anything to plug there, Fraser?
Maybe a stream at some point today.
Yeah,
if we can get the
PC
computer working. My stream was cancelled last night, so we will see. But that's about it. Have a good weekend.
We've got all the Backlash coverage coming up, of course. You're going to have live reactions. You're going to have what happened at. You're going to have WTF moments, as well as news, all your regular stuff going out that would be going out anyway, but with all the additional pay-per-view weekend bonuses. So
busy boys.
Might be back later for more news if anything breaks, but if not, have a good weekend. Enjoy WrestleMania the premium live event, WrestleMania Backlash, brackets 2022.
See ya.